Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to have you here with me tonight.
Glad to be here.
All right, so we're gonna just jump right in. So I am Tia. I am the host and the creator of Tea with Tia, and we have a special guest with us tonight. My first guest for series 2 of Talks with Tia. You might have seen him on Powerbook Ghost as Drew Tejada. He's an amazing actor and writer, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Lovell Adams-Gray, and I'm in my room under quarantine. So, I mean, not perfect in the quarantine, but this whole thing.
Right, we're all pretty much in quarantine. What you got going on back there on your wall? I see some paintings, some drawings. What's that?
This is my favorite calendar that was, I think I got in like 2018, so it's not even up to date. And these are my Lupe Fiasco records.
Okay, all right. So what have you been up to during quarantine?
Bumping a lot of music, a lot into a lot of music that I wouldn't normally like just give myself time to digest. I'm enjoying a lot of albums right now, playing a lot of games, reading my scripture every day, which has been really nice,
Okay.
and trying to be vigilant on myself about making sure I don't eat too much sugar.
Yeah, that's
You
easy
know.
to do when you're sitting around the house.
Oh,
So are you up on the new trend? Clubhouse seems to be the new trend right now. Are you on Clubhouse?
I jumped on there to more so to listen and stuff like that, and then I think I saw that I had to like pay for something, and I was like,
Oh, no, it's free. Do you
Oh,
have an
okay.
iPhone?
Nope.
Oh, well, okay. That was the bootleg Clubhouse. That won't the real one.
Look, you know that the whole cast has gotten at me because I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, see, you got to join the good team. Like, how you not
But
on Team iPhone?
you know that Samsung is like really good, right? Like it's not the iPhone, but like that's a mainstream choice. Like
Come on, man, Team
I have half a
iPhone.
I have a half a mind to like not even have any one of these phones and get myself like a Nokia or something like that. Just go way back. I have half a mind, because it's just like everybody has an iPhone, and then one day, when the iPhones decide to wake up and take over the world, we'll all be giving them the access to it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My little conspiracy theories on that. So,
So you out here texting with the green bubbles. I ain't gonna give you a hard time.
oh,
I ain't gonna
okay?
give
You're
you a hard
exposing
time.
everybody. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It's
I'm
all
actually gonna
good.
get myself an iPhone. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna get myself an iPhone just to get on
The real
the little
Clubhouse,
shit
not the
with y'all.
bootleg one.
Hmm.
But we're gonna go ahead and break the ice. I like to start off my interviews with little fun, light questions. So I do want to know, what is your favorite cereal?
Of all time or right now?
Whichever. Like, if you could eat the same cereal all week, which one would you
Mm.
choose?
You know what? I love Frosted Flakes,
That's a nice classic
but
one.
but
But
they've changed the taste, the recipe of Frosted Flakes, so it's kind of like hit or miss now. But they haven't changed Frosted Cheerios. And I don't know if you ever had those,
I
but
have.
those are like, oh, those are like legendary. I won't have them all the time, but Frosted Cheerios probably up there. I love like Count Chocula. I never really got into corn pops or like those kind of honeycombs are really good, but Frosted Cheerios.
You naming all the throwback cereals. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. All right. I'm 31, so not too far off from you.
We're the same age.
Yep. Yep.
We're the same age.
So I was reading your fun facts, and one thing that jumped out to me was you said that your favorite color is red because of the red Power Ranger. So,
Yeah.
okay, Drew,
Yeah.
like you are really going against all the grains, okay? Who chooses the red Power Ranger? So why the red Power Ranger? It's the black one that most people like. So I've never heard anybody say the red one was their favorite. So why the red one?
Because the red one was the leader. And when I was a kid, They tell you the primary colors like red, blue,
Right.
and what, yellow? Oh my God, what are the primary colors?
Don't ask me. I ain't been a teacher in X amount of years.
But so whenever I was whenever I like when just in school, whenever I'd see the color red, it would signify leadership and just being at like the number one thing, the top thing. And I was like, okay, so in Power Rangers, the red guy is the leader, right? Until,
Mhm.
he changes to the White Ranger. But the Black Ranger, I don't think they made him the leader until like more recent seasons.
Mhm.
But that was just like in my head, I associated with red with leadership and like, winning in that kind of sense. So it's just always been my favorite color ever since.
Okay. So I might
Yeah.
put you on the spot with this one right here, but I also read that you want to freestyle on the Sway in the Morning. So
Yep.
can you freestyle?
I can. I'm not
So would you
going
like to
to.
freestyle on Talks with
Nope.
Tia?
Nope.
We can't put you on the
Nope.
spot.
Nope. 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 You almost got me. But see, the thing about Sway is he got the DJ on there and he puts like some really good instrumentals on there.
I got my computer right here. No
Ah,
excuses. What beat you want? What beat you need, Drew? Look, I called you by your power name.
I'm not. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for Sway in the morning. I'm gonna
All
save it.
right, there you go.
I got it.
That's
I'm sorry.
fair.
I got to do that. I got to save it for Sway because you know it's gonna be brilliant, and when it is brilliant, it's got to be. I need Sway to like, you whack mother. You know what I mean? Like you gotta
All
give me the
right,
little talk your
Sway,
shit,
I
Sway. I
need
gotta
you
get
to.
that Heather B. I need the whole thing. I can't just.
All
You might not
right,
bring me on the show if I do it right now. I gotta get him the exclusive. I'm sorry.
I
I
got
love
you.
you, Tia. I'm
The
sorry.
fans want you to do it, but it's all good. We'll wait for it. We'll wait for
You
it.
gotta wait for it. Yeah, wait for it.
All
It'll be
right, so
good.
we're gonna dive into it. I was gonna ask you about your Lupe fiasco back there, but it seems like it's probably gonna be a long story. Are you a huge fan? 'Cause
Huge, huge. Ain't no long story. I'm just a big, huge fan of Lupe. Like he's my favorite artist of all time.
like, is that
And
a record back there on the wall?
yeah, this is the cool. I got it on vinyl, and this is his first one, Food and Liquor. And yeah, like I don't have a lot of posters. I got a few posters, but like
Is that $1
this
back
was
there?
it's like a fake $1 million bill, man.
Oh,
You
I
gotta
don't know
you
what a
gotta
million
just have
dollar
your
bill
vision
look
board,
like. All right, so it was nice, warming up to you.
Thank you,
So where are
appreciate
you
it.
originally from?
I'm from Toronto, born and raised.
Okay, so
Mm.
where do you reside now?
Right now, I live in Brampton, so Canada. Yeah,
Okay. Did you grow up as an only child, or did you have siblings?
I grew up as an only child for about like 6, 7 years, and then my brother came along. And so like I grew up very like independent and playing by myself, and used to just like I still kind of the same way now. To be honest with you, I really enjoy my own space and time and create my own things. But then when my brother came along, it was kind of like having to share all the toys and all the activities and stuff with him. And now I have like a younger sister who's just turned 6 in August, and I have
Oh,
another sister who's like 16, 17 now. So um, it's a big happy, it's a big family now.
so when you was younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you always want to be an actor, or was it something else?
For as long as I can remember, I want to be an actor. Um, I used to love watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then I
Okay.
realized just this year, actually, I realized that I didn't really grow up with like the dark skin Aunt Viv.
Oh,
Like I thought I did, right? But like you hop on the show and you're watching reruns and you're thinking
right.
it's out now. But when I was born in '92, light skin Aunt Viv was already there. So
Hey.
so I'm like trying to do all this throwback stuff and I had no idea. But yeah, it was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I like seeing Will like do everything, just everything, all his full range on that show, and everything he did. I followed him. I still follow him to this day. So he was a really big inspiration for me getting
Okay.
into acting.
So
Um,
so
mhm.
how old were you when you started acting professionally?
I was about, I think, 21. 21, came out of college, and I booked my first role later that year.
Okay.
Um, Yeah.
So what's more important to you as an actor, talent or training?
It's a good question. Because I've been trying to, I've been thinking about this myself. Um, I do believe it's important to be a well-trained in anything you do because I think you can beat talent. My dad taught me this. My dad's here. Shout out to my dad.
Shout out to your
Um,
dad.
I used to do track a lot, and so I didn't know, you good into high school, you don't know if you want to continue one thing and want to, so I didn't know if I wanted to continue down track or if I wanted to pursue acting. And my dad was saying, because he was pushing me to train more if I wanted to actually really do, because I was naturally gifted in track, and I didn't really believe in like, I got it, I run fast, I can jump, I can beat all these dudes, right? And then because I wasn't pursuing it outside of just school, people who were training, whooping my ass, right? So, so I had this natural, predispositions in my body to like run fast and jump far and jump high. And by the time I got to like, the end of high school, I was like, this isn't for me anymore. These people are beating me like easily. So it really drilled into my mind that like training is very important and not getting complacent, right? I feel like when you have this natural ability, your ego jumps up and says that you don't have to train, and nobody else can tell you anything about your talent because you know it, right?
Right.
But it's important to continue to hone and sharpen your skills. And so I think it's a big combination of both. But I do believe that if you have no talent in this one particular thing, because everybody has talent in something.
Right.
If you want to pursue acting, if you want to pursue drawing, if you want to pursue, these kind of things, and you have zero affinity to do so, but you work at it, I guarantee you'll be better than like 90% of people. Then there's people who are geniuses.
Right.
They got it and they obsessed over it at the same time. So they're like, and it's like that's the one thing that they were put on this planet to do. You ever watch? You see Soul?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my to-do list.
It's all about that. It's all about that.
Hey,
it's all about that. It's a
that
beautiful
was
film.
a really good answer, though. I really liked the answer. I did see your fiance Kiana joined the chat, so congratulations on that too. Just wanted to shout her out. Just saw her pop in.
Appreciate it. Hey, baby, how you doing?
So, would you say there's a difference between acting in Canada versus the United States? Is there anything different that you would say?
I say that there's a hunger in the actors in Canada that might be different than the actors in the States. And it's again, it comes down to not, this is general, not specific, but it comes down to, it's in your backyard, right?
Right.
You're born and raised in Hollywood, you're born and raised in New York, you have these things accessible to you. And if you're a Canadian actor, you're taught early that you have to, you won't blow up until you go to the States and then come back here and then we'll love you, right? And so that's something that you're also taught that you have to speak in a general American accent. You have to put on these different hats. So you already grow up with these character abilities to change your voice and your intonation and mold yourself and create characters already. Right. So you already, by the time you move to the States, you got 3-4 characters in the bag, Okay. So I do think there is a difference, kind of like similar difference to people that grow up in London, who they have to do all these things and create all these different characters in order to just make it in the States in the first place.
Right.
So we have that kind of hunger and that drive innately. So shout out to my boys and my girls out here in Canada doing it and working at it. I see you.
So who has been your favorite character so far that you have played?
Oh, I love Drew. Oh my God. It's so fun just to sit in his body and sit in his reactions and sit in his silence. He's probably been my favorite so far. Okay. I also played Levy from My Rain's Black Bottom on stage a couple years back, and he still lives in me. Like, he's probably my favorite character I've ever like embodied in general, but I think, say for like film and television so far, Drew's probably my favorite.
Okay, we're definitely gonna get all into Drew later on. Do you ever find trouble separating yourself from your characters?
Not really. I don't. I do invest as much as I can into my characters, and I like to go full in as much as I can. But there's also that knowledge, and I think that's why I don't wouldn't consider myself a genius in my craft. Because there also is that knowledge of like this is a safe space to do all these things and let all these things out, but then also know that you can go home and separate yourself from it.
Okay.
Whereas I feel like some people can't. Like that genius in you is like I live it, I breathe it, I own. This is who I am. Like and
Right.
it's a good and bad with that sometimes. But
So do you have a dream role that you want to play that you haven't played already? Like I know you've played a doctor, you've played a drug
yeah,
dealer. So
yeah,
do you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
role that you wish that you could land?
Um, if I could be completely honest, okay, one of them is I want to play Denzel Washington's son. So bad, like so bad
Okay.
in anything, in anything. So that's not really a role particularly. It's just a project that I'm like, I want to be your son, um,
Okay.
or grandson, whatever the age difference is. But, um, I wanna play a ninja.
A ninja?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and that's something that has been in me since I was like two. Like I love like ninjas. I love it so much. And like Blade, he was like the closest thing that to like a black ninja you've seen on screen. And Blade was amazing. And like I want to do something like that. I want to do something like that.
Okay. Have you ever found yourself having to choose between two different roles that you've already auditioned for? So I can imagine if you audition for stuff and you get a call here, a call there, a call here. So have you ever had to like choose?
Yeah, yeah. I've been in those situations before. I've booked two feature films at the same time,
Oh.
and but I'd also committed to this play.
Oh.
And it was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And I said, and it was my agent actually who said, "What do you want to do?" Right? Like she's like, "It's all a matter of how badly you want to do this play versus how much do you want to do these films." And I was like, right now, this character means everything to me. So I had to say no to the films and do the play.
Okay.
And I have no regrets about it at all. And I'd probably do it again if I had the choice. But those situations come more often than not, and
It must suck.
sometimes it seems like a no-brainer. Most of
Yeah.
the time, it seems like a no-brainer.
Okay. So it was one show that I was looking for that I couldn't find where to watch it. The Coroner. You play a
Yeah, yeah.
doctor. Just really quick, can you just give us an overview of that character and what the show is about?
Oh, Dwayne's amazing. He's a forensic pathologist, and he is in direct assistance with the lead character played by Serinda. And so the story's about a coroner who is just newly appointed as a coroner in the city, and she's coming from, I forgot where she's coming from, but she's coming from like a different background, so she has no idea how to be a coroner, but she's professional and knows what she's doing, and it's about her life um, in the actual nooks and crannies of her house versus her work life and how they combine. It's a beautiful show. You can watch it on CW now. It just moved over to the States, and it's on CW now.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know where to find this, but okay, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
I'm
I love playing. It was fun playing Dwayne. It's fun playing a doctor because it was one of the last roles my grandfather got to see me in before he passed. So I was nice. I wanted to give him that. I was like, "This is for you." It's like you see me as a doctor. You know what I mean?
right. So that definitely sticks with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll find it and I'm gonna binge watch it and I'll let you know what I think. So speaking of binge watching, like I spoke with you earlier, I binge watched Slasher season 2, Guilty Party. And just for those who are not aware, it's an amazing series. It's on Netflix. Just a backstory, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's about a group of friends who are holding on to a really dark secret. And they're pretty much getting hunted by a killer in the woods. And it's like a big game of Clue. You're trying to figure out who the killer is. And your character was absolutely amazing. So can you just give us just a quick little, tell us about Peter. Tell us who Peter was.
Peter, I went to the director one day. This is a little like on-set story. Before we started, and I was like, "What do you think about Peter being a sex addict?" And he was like, no, I don't think. He's like, no, I don't think so. Because I'm like, and to this day, I asked Kiana the other day, I was like, what possessed this man to have sex with 3 different women while being in this camp? Like, can you relax?
Yeah.
Like that was I'm like, bro, you're getting hunted. It's cold. It's everything. Like, there's nothing about this that is sexy to me.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with this guy? But I'm like, I guess when you're faced with your mortality,
Right.
I guess the basest instincts from us come out. So I ain't mad at him, but damn, Peter. It was a really good time. But like I said to you, it was like we needed snow and it was hot, and then we needed. I don't know. It was just like we got fake snow. We blow. The fake snow was actually like soap at one point. It was just blowing in our face, and we were getting it and ingesting it. It was weird. And then the days we had to shoot the summer stuff, we needed some heat, and it was cold. And so we're out there just. I was like, man, it was
making it work.
It was nice. It was nice to shoot in the backyard. Because it wasn't too far from where I live now. Okay. It was up in the country, like a cottagey area and stuff. So it was nice to be up there, fresh air. You know, I think at night you could kind of hear howling, and it was just like it was a beautiful time. Good cast, good people. So yeah, all in all, it was a great experience. And Peter is a crazy ass dude, man.
Was it scary, like filming a horror series? You weren't scared?
No, because you had everybody out there with you.
Okay.
The only time it was kind of weird is when we shot in the house, and the bathroom was actually located outside, so you had to like walk outside by yourself and go use the bathroom. And I swear, like the only times it was not even scary. It was just like it was just really cold. Like the cold would get into your shoes and your gloves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'm like I might die from hypothermia right now. Look at yeah, the last scene from Peter. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yeah, I was getting to that too. Go ahead.
The last scene from that, it was like on the coldest day of our shoot. And it was so cold, they were thinking about shutting it. It was like minus 42 with the wind.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? And like, you see what Peter's wearing, right? I begged them to let me put a hat on. And they were like, Peter's not going to wear a hat. It's not cool. So there I am with my head out, freezing. And I had to carry Madison. Shout out to Madison, who played got a character name. She played Madison Chiatow. I had to carry this woman's body, okay, in my arms like this, like firemen carry, like you're a hero and you got
in the freezing cold.
In the freezing cold, and her body is limp because she's dead. She's like knocked out. It got to a point where my arms couldn't go anymore. So I'm carrying this poor girl in my arms, and they're just.
Oh, please don't tell me you dropped her.
I dropped her on her head more than once. The poor darling. I dropped her on her head more than once, and like because she's limp, and my arms just giving out, and I had to like kneel down, and my back and everything. I'm just like, ooh, there goes there. It's cold. My arms are. Oh man, it was just like. It was a workout. If I could say it, if I could, all in one word, it was a workout.
So, again, not to give anything away from that very last scene, what can you say that Peter learned? Like, what was the lesson that he learned? Because even though the series was very gruesome, very interesting, I really felt like there was a lot of teachable and learning moments in this series. So, can you just tell us what you think Peter learned from, everything?
You got to do the right thing in the moment. It should never gone that far. He shouldn't have been part and parcel of the whole guilty party in the first place. It was a lot of like, can we cuss on this?
You can say whatever you want to say.
So Peter was wrapped up in a lot of fuckery that wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was because it started, it was things that are human, right? Like, he cheated. Right. So there, you shouldn't have done that. But okay, you didn't, if you did that, how do you make it right?
Right.
Right? You go when you communicate and you talk to people. It wasn't this poor dumpling's fault. Everybody's getting at her, blaming her for stuff. It wasn't her fault. It was this guy who should have owned up to the thing in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Now it's gotten way out of control. Well, hey, here's where you go, guys. Let's stop. I'm gonna leave. Like, this is not a thing that we should be doing. Now it's gotten way too far. Now somebody dead. What do you know what I mean? Like, now you can't do anything but shut the hell up because now you're gonna be a snitch. Like, it's a whole thing that shouldn't have been. You could have prevented it if you just spoke up and communicated and was honest in the first place. Shouldn't not have cheated in the first place. Cool, but you know, he's young. It's summertime. People make those dumb mistakes all the time, right? So how do we correct that? Own up to it. Be a man, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, everybody who has not seen Slasher season 2, it's on Netflix. I suggest you go watch it. It's definitely a different character to see you play. So we're definitely going to get into everybody's favorite and your favorite. We're going to get into Drew. We're going to talk about Powerbook 2 Ghost. But before we do that, I just want to give you a few this or that questions.
Okay.
As if you were Drew. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, would you hire, as your lawyer, Sachs or Davis to get you out of trouble?
Sachs.
Okay. I like Sachs. Who would you take parenting advice from, Tasha or Monet?
Oh, I got to go with my mom. I got to go with my mom.
Safe answer, safe choice.
That's loyalty right there.
So, who would you get pointers from when it comes to the drug game? Kane or Tommy?
Tommy.
Tommy. Interesting. Okay, you didn't go.
Tommy learned it all, because Tommy learned it all from Ghost.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Right? Yeah.
So, who would you cheat off of during a test? Tariq or Lauren?
Lauren. Tariq. Ooh. Damn. Tariq.
Tariq. Yeah, Tariq is very smart. Like, the more I watch,
he's very intelligent and he's very street smart too. So he's a very wise young man, so he can give you the practical with the, you know, what's the other word I'm looking for? Practical and theoretical, you know? And so I like that. I think Lauren's a little too theoretical.
Okay.
So I take it from Tariq for sure.
So who would you choose to move your product on campus? Braden or Effie?
Effie.
Effie, okay.
Effie. Effie, as soon as she sniffs a little bit of drama, she gone. I love it. I love it. Out of there. As soon as, you're gonna ghost me? I'm out of here. Like, that's it. Like, I don't play that.
But she went and told on Tariq as soon as she thought that he stood her up.
Yeah, but just to get the competition out the way, not to, like, she didn't tell the cops, you know what I mean? She's like, just to get the competition out the way or to blow up their spot. But it's not like she's not gonna, when it actually counts, she wouldn't like snitch. I don't think.
And last one, who would you pick as teacher of the year? Professor Reynolds or Milgram?
Wow. Can I say the other one? The professor that actually cares about teaching?
No.
I'd say Professor Reynolds.
The cheater.
Because even though he's ridiculous and he's out here trying to do everything for himself, I felt like when it came down to the lessons that he was given, there was, I don't even know. Actually, man, Professor Milgram is great as a teacher.
I'm going with Carrie, even though she's sleeping with the students, but you know.
So is Reynolds. So what am I supposed to do? Like,
well,
Professor Reynolds is older. Professor Reynolds is older.
Okay. All right. Well, you go.
And he's some good eye candy, so I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, can you just tell us a little bit about Drew? What is his character? Can you just give us a little overview of Drew for those who may not know?
Yes. So Drew is the reluctant one in the bunch of the family. He's the middle child of the three from Monet, played by the wonderful Mary J. Blige. And
Absolutely.
his father, I can only really talk about Drew's character in relation to how other people see him.
Okay.
So Drew's father sees him as the wisest choice to take over the family business. Monet sees him as the baby of the bunch still, and the good kid.
Right.
Kane sees me as the soft one who never does what he's supposed to do, and I feel like Diana sees Drew as the confidant and the one who kind of, you know how you got the siblings in the house, and there's always the one sibling you can look at and share that look with because you guys both know about the foolishness that's going on in the house.
Right. Y'all have a really good connection.
Yeah, I feel so too. I give all that to Toya. Toya, when you sit down and you get to sit on a set with Toya and then also act with her, it's like she's just giving you gifts every time. She's so much fun. So like that's for me as an actor, that's like the people you want to play with. Same with Woody, but I have more scenes with Toya. But I think that's how people perceive Drew. And from how Drew perceives himself, I think that he's an artist first and foremost. And there's something that he loves aside from just getting money, and he wants to create and he wants to tell stories through his art, and that's what he really cares about.
Okay.
He cares about love, he cares about honesty, he cares about loyalty. He also cares about just the beauty in the world, and he can see that through the concrete and through the grittiness of his family. He can see he has the luxury of being able to see the beauty in the world.
Right. So in other words, Drew is an artist by day and a drug dealer by night.
Pretty much.
So
which is half these rappers. Drew's a rapper.
So would you say it's hard for Drew to manage that double life?
Absolutely. Especially when you have people expecting so many different things from you, right? There's this, he feels the push and pull from so many sides of the family.
Right.
When you have all that pressure, I mean, it's like you're growing up in a household where someone expects you to be a doctor or a lawyer, but you say, "Mama, I want to sing." Right? That. But singing don't get you no money. So, so he definitely feels that push and pull and that struggle to try to find his own identity in the house and be that middle child.
Okay, yeah, the middle child always has it kind of hard. So let's just go back to the beginning. How did you get on Power? Can you kind of just walk us through the audition process? How did you get that role? So
me and McQueen, we do our self-tapes together. She is the best reader of all time. And when I got the audition, it was a scene that actually never popped up in the show. And Diana is asking Drew to come play basketball. But he's drawing something. And that to me spoke volumes to what Drew is about. And so sitting down, I said, I want to capture that. When an artist is in their mode, right? And they're in the scene, they're in their groove, they're in the canvas. Don't disturb, right? Mm-hmm. And so she's coming saying, let's just hoop real quick and da-da-da-da. And he's just like, fine, I'll hoop with you after, but And so we did one take, and Kiana's like, okay, let's do it again. And for this one, draw the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life. And I was like, oh, all right. And so I was drawing something. Lord knows what it was. But it was for me and my consciousness, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was so enraptured with this thing that whatever Diana was giving me was irrelevant. But I was just like, it was just almost like noise, but it's still your sister, right? So you still want to give her that, you still want to be nice. And so at the same time, you're trying to address the noise and not be disturbed. So I think it fueled the scene and gave it so much more legs. And then I got the callback, which was in LA, in the room with Courtney and Anthony Hemingway, who directed episode 1. Okay. Shout out to my boy Anthony. And the producers were there. Shanna Stein was there. So many people were in that room.
Wow.
And so the nerves are there, of course.
Definitely.
But it was funny because I had just come off an audition in LA that I expected to be a very warm room, and it was the opposite. It felt like I was in a factory.
Wow.
very in and out, and no greetings, no words. And so I get into this room where I'm thinking, oh, it's probably that LA vibe. It's probably gonna be the same thing. And they were so warm, so ready to play, so ready to just like bring out the scene and let's do this and let's do that and try this thing and let's just encourage and give such good energy. And I'm like, this is the environment I want to work in, right?
Right.
And I left there going like I put my best foot forward. I don't know what the hell's going to. To this day, me and Woody feel like we saw each other out, like walk passing each other in and out the door. We can't confirm this, but it was like, bro, I swear, like, yeah, I swear it was like, Dad, I'm not gonna say that. Move, like.
Is that your dad, Mr. Gray?
Yeah. So
Hi, Mr. Gray.
Funny thing, he should be at. I'm sure he's at work right now. But yeah. So long and short of it all, that was the whole ride, and then I found out maybe like a week later that I got it, and then a couple days later I was in New York and we were at the table read. It was very fast.
That's great. I know joining the Power universe was amazing feeling for you because it's such a great show.
Woo! It was funny because I first watched Power when it first dropped, and I fell in love with Omari, I fell in love with the whole show, and then I kind of fell off because other Game of Thrones came back and stuff, and then I jumped back on it. And I was just like catching up because I kept seeing so much Power stuff on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, I gotta watch this show again. So I was catching up, and I was on as just beginning the final season. Then I got the audition.
Wow,
and I was like, oh, you were preparing me.
That's dope. That had to been like I would be jumping off walls. Like that is super dope. That's really cool. So, who would you say is your favorite Power character from the Power series?
I gotta say Ghost. Ghost brought me in.
Okay.
He brought me in. Omari, his acting style, everything about him as a man, just separate from the character, brought me into the world. And then his impulses and the scenes he did when Sean showed up trying to kill him, and he got the better of him, but he didn't want to kill him, so he was like, "Get the hell out of here!" And he was still talking, and he's like, "Go!" Like that like sent chills through my body. And then from that, I was like, "Yeah, he's my favorite, hands down."
Yeah. I typically go for the villain in most series, so I absolutely love Sax. Shane Johnson he's hilarious. Like he's just really funny to me. I like Sax and I like Kanan.
Here's the best part about Sax though. Shane is hilarious in real life.
Oh yeah,
and
he really
he's
is.
such a great, beautiful energy. And I love him too, but it's funny that you said he's the villain. How is he the villain? He's trying to get these people put away.
Because we love ghosts. So it's like we don't want the family to get caught. We want y'all to get away with your illegal activity.
But isn't that crazy though?
Yeah,
like
he's the villain.
Oh man, it's like it was the same thing because like at the end of Power, you're looking at Ghost as the antagonist, right? Because he's they're trying to, he's getting in the way of everybody else's dreams, everybody else's goals. But Ghost has always been the antagonist. He was always doing dirt and stuff and trying to go legit, and these people were trying to put him away.
The characters keep switching.
Yeah, and we rooted for that, right? We rooted for him. That's the testament to Courtney and the writers' room, man, because they were to keep us on board and keep us engaged and keep us rooting for the villain and not wanting. To this day, everybody's like, "Ghost ain't dead." Nope. You know,
so
that's a powerful character.
I do have two questions about that. I do want to know, when you were watching, you know how we went through season 6 and they kept showing the different point of views of who they thought might have shot Ghost. Who did you have your money on?
What do I think it was? I thought it was Tasha.
I thought it was Tommy.
We both. No, I didn't think it was Tommy. I didn't think it was Tommy because I felt like I only thought it was Tommy in the episode where it was Tommy from Tommy's perspective. Because I was like, it just seemed like they were trying to paint Ghost in this negative way, and that's how everybody received it, right? Everybody received the situation and the conversation in a different way because it kind of how we do it, right? Like in a regular conversation, I might say something that's offensive to you, but to me, it's not offensive. I didn't say anything rude. I didn't have any negative tone,
Right.
but it's how you would see. Now, to me, that was genius. And so when we watched episode 10 and they had that interaction, it was like, Ghost didn't say nothing that bad to Tommy. It's still all love. It's just that, you know, how he talks to him is kind of crazy sometimes. Like, you got to think and all that kind of stuff. Really down talking to him, but I don't think he's going to kill him for that. And then when you see it from Tommy's perspective, he's like, oh no, he don't give a shit about me. Right? So it's interesting that you thought it was Tommy, but I didn't think. I was like, that's not enough for me. Like Tasha, all the way through, like she was ready. Like
right, they all had their reasons. I didn't want to go with Tariq because my brain said, hey, it's going to be Tariq. But I was like, no, it's not going to be Tariq.
No, not at all. I was thinking it might have been Tariq, but that would have been like when I found out it kind of broke my heart still.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. So I know, everybody has been this long-going argument about is Ghost dead, is Ghost not dead. So I don't know if you can just tell the people if Ghost is a ghost or is he hiding in Cali somewhere.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but did when Courtney did her live, did she talk about this?
Yeah, she said when the question was, is Ghost dead? Courtney said, well, you guys saw him and you were at his funeral. So I guess it's still like one of those things where it's left open to interpretation. So we'll just leave that one alone.
Yeah, I just second that, I second that.
Yeah, so I'm saying Ghost is a ghost. I mean, I think he's pretty dead because yeah, we'll leave that one there. But
is he dead? Because Tariq's still alive, and our children are the living resurrection, right?
Well, Ghost never dies, so
exactly.
James Patrick is definitely in the dirt. So I agree. Ghost is not dead. Courtney likes to play on words, so. She's a very brilliant. I love Courtney.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
So your character, you said, like you said, you're the son of Monet Tejada, who's played by Mary J. She's such a legend. So how is it working with Mary?
So we're going back for season 2 very soon.
Ooh.
And I can say that now because Melanie already said it.
Okay. Do we have a is it coming back this year or next year? Can you say that?
I think it's this year.
This year?
I think so, yeah. I think it might be late this year. I have no official word on that, so I don't know, but this is what I'm just speculating based off of time. But I can't wait to go back and work with Mary. That's how excited I am. I'm thinking about like I can't wait back to go back and work with the whole cast, but like Mary just turned 50. I'm so excited to just talk to her about that and just to catch up on all the things that we just, got to miss out on because of this quarantine and stuff like that. See what she was doing. I'm just so excited to sit and vibe with her, man. She is so kind.
The complete opposite of her character.
Yes. So then when she plays it, it's just like, oh, like you really believe mom because that's what mom is, right? Mom can be nurturing, but mom can be cold.
Right.
So you get both, and when you're in the scene with her, it's like, Mom, damn, like we were just talking 2 seconds ago. Damn, okay. What I love about Monet and how Mary plays Monet, it reminds me so much of certain aspects of like when you see a Denzel Washington character and certain people in my family. There's an energy about Monet. Don't pass your place with me. We could be here. But I set the boundary for where we're at in our relationship, and don't pass that. You don't make certain jokes and certain comments with me. You don't do that. Like I'm Monet, we keep it like this, and I keep you at this length and this distance. And I admire that so much because like I felt like certain aspects, my grandfather was like that, and people in my family, Caribbean people, certain, what I mean, like just it's so truthful. Yeah.
So what's the experience off set? I'm not off set, but off camera with the cast. Like, do you guys like crack jokes? Like, what are you doing in between shooting? I know you guys act up.
They're hilarious. I read most of the time because I can't be bothered. I'm trying to stay in the scene. Like I can't be joking. Like, but sometimes it can't be helped. Like, if we're on set together. and you have Michael and Toya in the room at the same time,
A
jokes
lot.
all day. Like it's just jokes all day, and that's what like. And then Woody's there, and it's just like you just get to. It's so chill. You just a vibe. Like it's just a vibe, you know. And it's I've never experienced anything like that on a set before. Like I've been on set with older people, and then sometimes they're on their phone all the time. They don't even want to talk to you. You kind of have that energy of just like don't even bother, ask them questions, nothing like that. And it's just this energy on set because I guess we're all young and we're all like, you know, coming from similar backgrounds and stuff. So it just feels like a family.
Okay, that's really cool. What would you say is the first thing that caught your attention about Drew as you got to know him as a character? What would you say was the first thing that drew you in?
Drew me into Drew.
Yeah, what drew you into Drew?
I'd say it was his love of art and the way he
Okay.
sees the world differently from other people being in this environment because from where I stand as an artist, the things I want if I have one art statement I can make as an artist, as an actor, it would be to show people that it doesn't have to be that like this all the time. Like that whole you do what you always do, you get what you always got kind of thing. That no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what your background is, no matter what is kind of holding you back and holding you down,
Right.
you don't have to make the same decisions and the same mistakes that other people made before you, because you have an autonomy of your life, and you can think differently and be different and do different things, and have that permission and give yourself that permission, because it's our God-given right, you know. And I feel that with Drew, you know, he's raised in a street family. And so everybody's so enraptured with that. And he's the only one who has like a clear understanding and idea of what else he wants to do and what else he's into. And what happens when that dream and that desire gets stifled and gets put in a box and gets pushed back? Do we ultimately have to go to that other thing that's calling us, or do we have to continually fight for that thing that's inside of us and to keep it precious and keep it contained? So that was the biggest thing that drew me to Drew. I was like, I gotta like explore this and capture this.
So do you ever know the direction that your character is going, or is it more like a surprise when you get to table reads? Do they ever give you like the overview of the direction? Because you know a lot of the characters change as the episodes progress. So do you ever have a heads up of the direction your character is going, or is it kind of like more of a surprise?
For the most part, we get the script maybe a day or two before the table read, so we all like read it once, like, you know, that night. So there is a good amount of surprise going into it.
Okay.
We at the beginning of everything, we got a breakdown sheet of kind of where our character is going to be going and what they see for our character and, you know, direction. And I think that can change over time once they see what you do with the character and what you bring. And so there's a lot of like things that are up in the air and that you don't know about your character. What I'm excited for, because the only last thing you see about Drew is that he's shot and he pulls up in the whip, right? So I'm excited to see. It's almost like there's so much more now to explore with that for Drew, and I'm just really excited to see what happens after that. Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna go yet, but I can tell you it's gonna be good.
I bet. So I want to talk about the scene that you had with Lil Guap in the alley when he was about to blow Zeke's kneecap off. So as you're living that double life, and Everett witnesses you, you know, pretty much beat Guap almost to death. So do you think Drew's relationship with Everett complicates things?
I think yes and no. I think Drew's relationship with Everett is a part of him seeing the beauty in the world. And seeing and wanting to experience actual love. And I think it could be a distraction to the street life and what his priorities are. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is where your heart is and this is what you want. So is it really a distraction, right? If you want to pursue music, and so but your grades are slipping in math and science, it's like, is that really, are you really slipping in math and science, or are you really are you really practicing sax every damn day, and so you have no
Right.
time to do your math homework? You know what I'm saying? So it's like where your priorities are,
Yeah.
what's truly in your spirit. And I think for the love or the potential love between Drew and Everett, needs that room and that respect and that space and time to grow. But that street life getting in the way, it's like a monkey wrench. That whole moment is a huge monkey wrench in that thing. Because
Yeah.
Drew is saying, I want to see the real you. I want you to be real with me. I want you to be real with me. And then it's revealed to Everett that Drew's hiding some shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say I love when Drew switches on and off. Like that's to me
Mm-hmm.
my favorite part of his character is like he literally can just because nobody really expects him to, like you said, they think he's the goody two shoe of the family, but I think
Mm-hmm.
Drew is one of the hardest. Honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
think he is the leader. So we're gonna jump into Kane. So Drew seems to be stuck between showing loyalty to Kane and being loyal to what Monet wants. So what would you say is going through Drew's mind, having to turn his back on his brother?
Oh, I'm sorry. One second. Camera light died. um, I think it's a big. I think Drew knows the rules. It's you're always loyal to the family,
Right.
right? And family mostly mean, well, who runs the family? Lorenzo, right? Who's the head of the family while Lorenzo's in jail? Monet.
Monet. Okay.
And who do I have in the household? Me, my sister, and Monet, right? Kane is doing things against the family. So it's almost a no-brainer to be like, I have to choose the family. I'm not choosing the family if I go with Kane. I'm choosing to be an outcast. Whereas there are things that are happening that are so clear, and it's just the ego in Kane that is preventing him from seeing that. That is why when he says things like you're either with me or you're against me and all those kind of things, that's making me choose sides and this kind of stuff, it's so clearly not from a place of like, this is a real choice. It's almost as if it were to be, I have to choose between Monet and Lorenzo, then it's like, where do my loyalty lie, right? But it's like, for Kane, it's like, you're fucking up. We're here, we're the family, and you're the one doing dirt and trying to bring us into this
Damn.
weird space and messing things up and bringing heat on us and all these kind of things. So I want my brother to be on board for sure, and I would never move against him. That's not even in question. But what else can we really do other than just kind of be in the house and take care of the family?
So, who would you say Drew trusts the most?
I personally say Diana.
Diana, I think so too. The dynamic and the relationship it comes off as genuine. So I definitely love the on-screen relationship that you have with Diana. Well, Drew has with Diana. But the scene where in the episode where you were trying to be a hero and you got shot, try to save the day, I was like, Drew, Doug, don't run. But hey, so could you just tell us how it was filming that scene? Like, that was a very exciting scene. So how was it filming that?
I swear I gave myself whiplash or something. Because the amount of takes we did, the director, he wanted this image, this homage to this image of the first moment ever captured on film of somebody dying. And it's somebody getting shot in war. And it's like this image that's always being like shown in movies, and they're always doing this thing. This guy's arms kind of flowed back, spread eagle, and that kind of thing. And so we were trying to get that right. I was trying to get it right for him because I was like, I want this to be your vision. And so we did I swear, 20 takes. I was covered in sweat, my back. I was like, because I had to do that snapback, and it's just that's the point. I was like, my back is done. So that was it was a trying thing, and I think we got it. I think we got a variant of it. And And I will say this. You want to get into acting and do those kind of action scenes, and when they give you like knee pads and back brace and shoulder this and shoulder that, take them. Don't be a hero.
So you was trying to be a hero for real.
No, I would be. Back in the day, I was. I don't need no knee pads. I don't need no back brace. I'm good. Until one of your knees hurt a little too much. Until you get to 28, 29. My boy told me this when I turned 26. I told him, yo, my back hurts for some reason. He's like, bro, you're 26. You're back. Like, that's it. Like, so yeah, it's like when you get up, like you have the opportunity to be given those knee pads and those little, back and shoulder pads, and you take them. You take them because they're going to save your life. And I had them that day. And even still, your body still receives residual damage. It's important to get massages and stretch and get all those things kind of rolled out. That's why acting is so beautiful, though. But I'll get into that.
Your fiance said always take the stunt pads. So
always take the stunt pads. Don't be a hero.
To Kiana,
don't do it.
She knows best.
She really does.
So you mentioned earlier that you're excited to see where Drew's going. Is there a certain direction that you hope to see Drew go as far as coming up for season 2? What do you want to see more of from Drew? If you can answer.
I'd like to see more of Drew on the screen personally. I like to have just more moments with Kane. I love those scenes so much. I love just the potential to have Drew go anywhere and do anything, because he really is this kind of like float in between. I want to see him up at the school. I think there was one scene that we were going to do that we didn't end up shooting because of COVID, that Drew was going to go to the school, but we didn't get to shoot that. But I'd love to, out of Drew's character, I'd love to see more mastermind moves. But then I really hope that we can get back to the art. For personal, I was learning how to draw for this. Okay, so for personal reasons, and because to me that's really important, and it's a really big part of his character.
Okay.
If not getting to actually get to the art, seeing more of that weight on him and seeing that care, and that he can't pursue it right now for whatever reason.
Okay. So are you having power withdrawals like the rest of us? Because literally once power went off, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm fiending. I need power. So I want to know, do you watch the episodes like 100 times like the fans? Because I have to watch each episode at least 4 to 5 times, because each time I'm learning something different. So do you watch the shows over and over?
I watch the show. I don't watch a lot of shows over and over again. Because it's just too much of my time sometimes. Like an hour-long episode. I beg for like 30-minute episodes of things now. Like I watch a lot of cartoons now because they don't make a lot of 30-minute segments for things. So when I watched episode 9 twice, and episode 1 I think 3 times, or 2 or 3 times. With friends and with family. So if it's like that, if like watching it with a group of people and a different group of people, then for sure. But when it comes to like on my own, just watching shows more than one, I don't often do that. Like, okay, it's like a checklist thing to me. It's weird. If I watch a movie, I watch the movie. Like, good. That's a thing out of my day. Like, I watch that movie, I don't have to worry about it no more. I've seen it. I can talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very strategic. So I do want to know, when you watch Power, do you watch Power as a consumer, or do you watch Power as a self-critic?
As a consumer.
Okay, sure. That's really cool.
I used to watch my work as a self-critic, and then I was like, I can't. If I don't give the comments and the reviews any attention, I can't give that self-critic any attention either, because it's not a part of the work. Right? It's a part of the work to be what's the word I'm looking for? It's like self-aware, and and to be aware of your surroundings, what you're doing, XYZ. But when you're watching how your body is and your face, why did I make that face, and why did I do that thing, and and all that kind of stuff, then you're getting nitpicky, and then you're not honoring your artist at all. You're just being self-critical, and there's no room for that in acting, in the art
Right.
side anyways.
Well, I enjoyed this last hour with you.
Me too.
It's really been fun. I just want to know, what can we expect from Lovell for 2021? Is it just power, or is it other things? What all can we expect?
Well, there's a project I actually did here back home that I can't speak too much about because the press release is coming out soon for it.
Okay.
But it's this project called 21 Black Futures, and it's based off of after coming out of quarantine. It's this like hybrid project that I did with this theater company named Obsidian Theater here, and it's about just to talk a little bit about it. It's about what does life look like after all these things that have happened. When you have the wave of people recognizing that Black Lives Matter for the first time in how long, right? You have that, a resurgence or emergence of consciousness in that way, post the passing of George Floyd, God rest his soul, the passing of Breonna Taylor, God rest her soul, and so many other people. You find that people are aware of it now. What does life look like afterwards? In 2021, 2022, and like it literally in the future. From that perspective, from after coronavirus, what does life look like after in that way? So it's a project that kind of like 21 directors, 21 writers, 21 performers, all just like, doing this thing. So I'm really excited for it. It's like a piece I've never even considered doing or ever done before in my life, and so it's like a big exploration for me, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like. And I got to work with an amazing director. Shout out to Charles Officer, my guy. I see you. And so that's coming out in February.
That's dope. And I want to shout out Daniel Bellamy, who plays Zeke. He jumped in the chat. He waved at you. I don't know if you saw it. I wanted to shout out.
I want some more scenes with Daniel. I don't think I got like maybe. So I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking for like Drew is gonna get some scenes with Daniel too. Okay. Because we had to resolve this whole like you boxing my hand away when I saved your life.
Right. I was about to say you saved his whole recap. His whole career about to get blown off.
You know what I'm saying?
So, Lovell, I don't know how much time you had because I know I said 45 minutes, but there are a few fan questions in the box. So I don't know if you want to take a few. It's up to you. This is your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how was it working with Woody?
Yeah. Scorpio brother T wanted to know that.
Scorpion brother T. I see you. So Woody is such an amazing craftsman. Like, he's the kind of person that inspires you in not in what he says, but what he does. When I mean that Woody is the type of person that says he's going to do something and then ends up doing the thing, he's the type of person that does something, says something, oh, I'm going to go do this. And then you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, everybody says they're going to do something and then they don't bother to do it until like a year later or 2 years later. He'll do it and have it done. And you know what I mean? And like, he is, when I talk about faith, like he's a master of faith. It's not so much like he doesn't sit there and worry about all those kind of things and why can't I get it done? Why can't, he just does it and worries about it later. And so working with him, I absorbed that into my spirit. He's a craftsman. He loves to study and understand what we're talking about, what we're doing, why we're doing it, why we're, like what's going on here, what's the dynamic like, and getting everything specific. And again, that is super inspiring because you don't see a lot of people like that, especially at this level, right? People just like to just go off of their own thing and think they know what they're doing and just kind of do it. But he loves to investigate, very curious. And so, yeah, like it's just working with him and working off of him is such a treasure. That's why, like, every time we get a scene together, I'm like, oh, thank God, yes, like, let's do it.
And Woody is Kane,
really,
for those who don't know. They're probably
Pardon?
like, who's Woody?
Woody, yeah, Woody plays Kane.
Yeah.
Y'all better know. Better act like you know. Come on.
Let's see, a few more. Okay. Geo the God 64 wants to know, do you know the other actor scripts as well? So like, I guess, do you know what their cues are and, you know, talking points?
Okay. A long time ago, Will Smith said, "Man, I was like mouthing everybody's lines because I knew everybody's dialogue because I didn't want to get it wrong and all these kind of things." And people were like getting frustrated with that, right? And it's like, "Oh, why would he do that?" And such. Now, you don't want to mouth people's lines as they're talking and saying their line to them, sure. But the fact that he learned everybody else's dialogue is an incredible feat.
Right.
I can't do that, nor will I ever take that venture on. Huh?
I said, look, barely can remember my lines.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they change them so often that's like you just got to get yours down. Like yeah, you know, like their cue, your cue line and stuff like that. But you just want to know what's going on in the scene and and why you're saying the things you're saying, what you're saying, and then be able to just listen in the moment, listen and respond. So it's more important to know what you're saying so well that you can do backflips and say it. You know, so a lot of times as actors we learn our lines, but then when it has to come to an activity and like doing something and saying those lines at the same time, they go right out the window, right? So I think it's important to like know your line so well that you ain't got to worry about everybody else's stuff because what they say to you now makes sense. And oh, this is why I'm saying this in response because what you're saying is some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, now you have more choice and more options. So I think there's merit in being familiar with what other people are saying, but don't learn. Like, that's a lot of extra time and stress and work that you don't want to put on yourself as an actor. Don't do it.
Well, guess who else just came in the chat?
I see Justin.
Professor Reynolds. We was talking about you earlier, Professor Reynolds. Lovell said you would have got Teacher of the Year.
I ride for you, my guy.
Shout out to Justin, who plays Professor Jabari Reynolds. Does a great job with his character. Unfortunately, we just lost him. You know.
Oh, you back? You back?
No, I'm talking about Tariq. Shot him.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Speaking of killers, Gio had another question. In your opinion, who is a better killer? Dre, Ghost, Tommy, Kanan, or Monet?
Tommy.
Tommy.
Oh, Ghost or Tommy? Ghost or Tommy? Tommy.
Tommy.
Because Tommy never let his personal life get in the way of his work. And we've seen Ghost leave fingerprints behind by accident because he's been stressed out about other things and not thinking straight. And he's left fingerprints behind. He's dropped the little thing and you know what I mean? You've seen that. But for Tommy, when it's time to execute, he executes.
Yeah, I definitely would probably go with Ghost. He seems a little less emotional. Tommy and Braden remind me of each other. They both seem a little more in touch with their emotions. Ghost seems to be able to just get it done. So
yeah, but see, Ghost messed up. Has Tommy ever messed up on a job? See, you take that. You've never had an L with Tommy. He just gets emotional and it will kill people for no reason. That's the thing. He'll kill people too soon. But that's just his like reckless behavior. But I'd rather, like, if I needed a shooter, who would I hire? Ghost or Tommy? I'm hiring Tommy.
Hey, that's you made a good point. All right, guys, we're gonna take about 2 or 3 more. I'm not gonna hold Lovell all night because these questions are just pouring in. So, all right, this is a good question. From Jazzy Bates 89. Did you anticipate this level of popularity with the spinoff of Power, considering that Michael Rainey, Tariq, was the lead and everyone hated him in Power? Like, he was probably the most hated kid on television. So that's a really good question, Jazzy. So did you think that this would blow up as it did?
Yes, for a numerous amount of reasons. The writing is that good.
I agree.
And the artists that they get to play these characters are that good that you care about them, even if you don't want to, right? Why do we care about Sax? You said you like Sax.
Yes.
Sax ain't doing nothing but try to put these people away. He's been a thorn in everybody's side, but we love him, right? Because he's human. And we love Tariq because he's human and he's caught in between so many things. And you know, in so many ways, Tariq is us, right? I mean, I ain't gonna kill nobody before, but in so many ways, Tariq is us. So I think we weren't surprised that, you know, we were hoping it would be a hit, and we weren't surprised when it was, and especially because a lot of people, as a part of the cast, are very spiritual. You know, they believe in something bigger than themselves. You know, whether it be them believing in God or just energy or whatever. We all kind of do it for not personal, selfish reasons. You know, we're trying to communicate something else. So we had no doubts.
Okay. That's great. I also had no doubts. I have no doubts about none of the spinoffs because I know that you're writing. I'm really excited.
I can't wait for Raising Kanan.
Yeah. I am so ready for that. I run a power group on Facebook, so we're so ready for Raising Kanan to see how it's gonna all come full circle and tie in. We're gonna ask one more question, so I can go ahead and let you go on with your night. I thought this was a very good question, also from Scorpion Brother. What is the best advice that you have received? I think that's a great way to end it off.
I've received so much advice over the years that was good. That was bars. Nothing's wrong. That's still dropping. That's still dropping.
Nothing's wrong.
But then I could say keep God first. That was from my grandfather. And from Denzel, he said the same thing. So there's that. Once I did that, but in order for me to get to that place, because you can hear the scripture, but if you're not in a place to receive it, you're not going to receive it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think in order for me to get to that place, it was one of the instructors I had who she would drill into us when we were doing scenes, and we'd be panicking, and we would be, you know, just falling on our faces, not remembering lines, and because this class was kind of an intensive, and it was kind of hard, because it demanded so much of you as a human, not just as an actor, as a human being, that you respect certain things about your character and be specific and also be open and all these things. So now you're open and you're vulnerable and you're trying to do this scene and you're messing up because you don't know what's going on. And then she would just go say, nothing's wrong.
I like
and then
that.
You'd be like, oh, yeah.
Nothing's wrong. Period.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Nothing's wrong, because nothing is really wrong, right? You're in this space working on your craft. Yeah, you got bills to pay and somebody's sick in your family and this person and this person and this drama, sure. But right now you're in this space to work on yourself and work on your craft. And in this space right now, nothing's wrong.
I like that. I like that quote. I'm over here looking at the comments, and quite a few people said that I remind them of Tasha. I literally been getting that since the middle school, like the 7th grade. You know, she was a part of a singing group called 3LW.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was a 3LW fan. Everybody was like, "Oh, you look like Tasha from Power." I get that all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, so tonight has been great, Lovell. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on my show. I was very nervous when I reached out, and I was like, oh, he's not going to respond to me. But, you know, you were very nice and very humble. It was been an honor to interview you.
To be interviewed by you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys, it's been a pleasure. My name is Lovell Adams-Gray. I play Drew Tejada on the show Powerbook 2 Ghost. And I've been having tea with Tia.
Hey, thank you so much, Lovell. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.